Hey guys, how you doing? Today's February 10th. It's gonna be about 45 degrees today, they're saying, so today is gonna be a perfect day to make episode 7 for the Farmall H. We're gonna see if we can't get this thing running today. So I gotta put on the new manifold, the carburetor. I gotta put on the magneto, make sure it's timed, put some fresh fuel in it. That's where I'm going right now to get some non-oxy fuel or no ethanol fuel. And I'm going to adjust the valves just to make sure that they're good to go. Hook up the battery and see if the starter works. If not, well, we'll go from there. We'll either pull start it or we'll think of something else. So but until I get back, why don't you guys stay tuned for hopefully the unveil of this Farmall H. All right. Okay, this thing is pretty dirty. It's the first time I've had the hood off of it, but that's to be expected with a 70-year-old machine. But everything looks okay. I mean, the manifold is extremely far gone, as you can see. This thing is completely busted out. So there must have been a significant amount of moisture in there. Or it just finally gave way. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this manifold off. I've already tried to clean it up as best I could in there. But see if I can get this camera to stick. I doubt it. Let's try over here maybe. So you guys can kind of see what I'm doing over here. Try and find the right size here. Gotta get them all broke loose here. I'm thinking about taking this alternator off here and putting it on my M. Just because, first of all, it's in a weird spot on this H. Second of all, I think it'll be more suited for the M. There'd be more space underneath the hood. Well, this manifold's definitely seen better days. But we've got a fix for that, and it's called a brand new manifold. I'm going to try and clean this thing up as much as I can here. Got a bunch of extremely old gaskets stuck on here. Doesn't help that there's a big ice patch right underneath my feet where I'm working. Need the sun to come out here. It's freezing out. That's right, I usually spray these gaskets with that copper sealant. I don't know if it has any benefit to doing the manifold gaskets, but you know, it's better than nothing, so. I'm probably gonna have to take one of these studs back to my place here and put the right side nut on it. So one of the disadvantages to using existing parts is not all of it might be right, but for right now this is what we got to work with, so that's what we're using, which is very out of character for me. Yeah, having parts helps too. Yeah, it's cold. Alright guys, well, we've got the new manifold on, we got the carburetor on, and I can't seem to find my air intake tube. I don't know what the heck I did with it. I thought I left it here on the tractor, but apparently I didn't. So maybe it's in my garage, I'm not sure. But anyways, I got the new magneto on, put some good spark plugs in it. I adjusted the valves. Again, the manual calls for setting them to 0.017 hot. Obviously the tractor's cold, so I set them to 0.020 to allow for expansion. I connected the battery that I've got, and I got no power, so it's either a bad switch or the starter is not functioning. So, and I know the battery's good because I just charged it for 2 days, so on a trickle charge. But I'm going to add some fuel to it, and I'm going to try starting it in a manner that I hope that you guys never try. I'm just going to crank it over by hand with a pipe wrench standing over here. That way if it does kick back, it'll throw the wrench, you know, opposite direction. But it shouldn't kick back, so let me add some fuel to it here, and I don't know, we'll see what happens. Can you see? Okay. Should be plenty to get it going. I put about 1.5 gallons in it or so. Ignition switch on. choke. Definitely got plenty of fuel. Put some gloves on here. Well, I think we got a little more work to do. Might have to try and pull start this thing. I don't know if it's going to go with a pipe wrench. Hey guys, well, as you can see, I'm not at the tractor, nor is it the same day. Good news is we got it running, and it runs great. Bad news is, for one, I forgot to film it because two reasons. Spent a lot of time goofing around with the magneto. We ended up pulling it up and down the street to try to get it to fire, and it kept firing back through the carb. So obviously that means it was out of time. And as you know, when I did the Farmall M, it's not the first time that I've had that magneto 180 out of time. So I pulled it off, flipped it 180 degrees, runs like a champ. Great oil pressure, no misses at all. I mean, just tons of power. No throttle, you know, no coughing in the throttle when you crack it, and when you close it all the way down, it doesn't fall on its face and try to shut off, stall out. I mean, the thing runs great. I couldn't be happier. But then I went to take it down the street for a good ride, and I got about a block and a half away, and I heard a loud pop bang come through the exhaust, and nothing, no fire on any cylinders. So I figured, well, it's got to be the mag, because that's the only thing that, you know, it's obviously getting gas because it was flooding out when we tried to pull start it again, and it's got compression. So I pulled the mag off and brought it back to the guy I had rebuild it, Rudy, and he looked at it. I brought it to him Saturday. He called me this morning and said, hey, I already got it fixed. You ready to go? What it was I can show you in the next video when I put it back on, but there's a few machine bolts that hold that flange onto the front of the magneto, and one of them bolts had actually backed itself out and was scraping on the back side of the rotor for the mag. So it's fixed now. I just got to go get it. I probably won't get to it till Wednesday, and today's Monday the 13th. So that's what we're working on here. I'm still not going to give you guys any clues on this new project I got coming, but that'll be probably the end of March that you guys will get the first glimpse of that. But I apologize for not getting the first fire video of that H, but we'll just pretend like the next video is the first fire. So it's just hard to when you're trying to pull start a tractor. I was trying to hold the camera and push the clutch and pull the choke and pull the throttle and steer, and it just wasn't working. So anyways, I hope you guys at least enjoyed a little bit of this video and the update, and stay tuned because later this week we're gonna go for a ride. All right.